In the beginning, before stars, before atoms, before time even found a rhythm, there was attraction, a subtle curve in the fabric of possibility, the first tug between things. From that silent pull, everything that would ever exist began to gather. It wasn't noise or chaos that made the universe, it was love in its most elemental form, the yearning of energy to meet energy, of nothing to become something. Welcome to another episode of Night Lamp Curiosity. I'm Professor Photon, and today we're going to learn how love is the driving force that creates everything. Einstein once wrote that gravity is not a force at all, but the bending of space and time around mass, the way matter tells space how to curve, and space tells matter how to move. It's an invisible embrace drawing everything into relationship. And perhaps that is what love truly is at every scale, the tendency of the universe to connect what would otherwise drift apart. Every particle you are is part of that great attraction. The atoms in your hands were forged in stars that once fell together under gravity's slow persuasion. When you stand beneath the night sky and feel something wordless, it isn't sentimentality, it's recognition. You're made of the same pull that binds galaxies. If you listen long enough, you can almost hear it. The soft hum of gravity, the heartbeat of matter in love with existence. Everything in the cosmos moves because of desire. Planets yearn for their suns. Moons ache for their planets. Stars spiral toward one another until their orbits become dances of light. When two black holes collide, they send ripples through space-time itself, gravitational waves, literal tremors of the universe's emotion. Those waves stretch and squeeze reality by less than the width of an atom, yet they travel for billions of years, carrying the story of cosmic embrace. In 2015, scientists at LIGO, the Laser Interferometer Gravitational Wave Observatory, recorded such a signal for the first time. Two black holes, each 30 times the mass of the Sun, merged more than 1 billion light-years away. The universe rang like a bell. For a fraction of a second, 3 solar masses of pure energy were released as waves in space-time. Enough power to outshine all the stars in the observable cosmos combined. That was not destruction. It was consummation. Even at the scale of galaxies, attraction sculpts beauty. The Milky Way and Andromeda are on a slow collision course, moving toward each other at 110 kilometers per second. In 4 billion years, they will merge, their stars passing harmlessly through, their dark matter halos intertwining, becoming one larger galaxy, perhaps called Milkomeda. It will be an act of creation, not annihilation. Love on the galactic scale is slow but eternal. But let's come closer. Gravity doesn't only shape the heavens, it choreographs your body. The pull that keeps your feet on the floor also guides blood through your veins, stretches your spine in subtle tides, and whispers to the oceans, drawing them into rhythm with the moon. The same moon that swells the sea also stirs the molecules in your cells, syncing your circadian rhythms with her phases. When you look at her glow and feel something stir, it is not poetry. It is physics remembering itself. Inside you, attraction plays another game. Molecular, electric, intimate. Atoms bond by sharing electrons, filling each other's emptiness. Oxygen pulls at hydrogen to form water. Carbon links in endless patterns to create life. At every level, connection overcomes isolation. This is chemistry, yes, but it's also the architecture of affection written into nature's code. When you fall in love, your body becomes a living equation of forces. Dopamine firing through synapses, oxytocin bridging the gap between cells, gravitational pull mirrored by biochemical magnetism. Your pupils dilate, your heartbeat synchronizes with another's, your neurons mirror their expression. Physically, measurably, you become one system. Scientists call this limbic resonance, the alignment of two nervous systems. It's as though for a while your brainwaves are playing in harmony, two instruments tuned by emotion. In a literal sense, love bends the space between minds just as gravity bends the space between stars. Einstein once asked, "How would it be if gravity were not a force but a manifestation of love?" He meant it partly as metaphor, but the resonance is real. Every attraction in physics, gravitational, magnetic, chemical, is about energy finding balance. Every attraction in the heart is about the same. Opposites don't just attract, they complete equations. The universe doesn't waste connection, it perfects it. In quantum physics, the smallest particles also obey this law of intimacy. When two particles become entangled, their states intertwine. Change one and the other responds instantly, no matter how far apart they drift. Einstein called it spooky action at a distance, but experiments have proven it again and again. At the quantum level, separation is an illusion. What was once joined remains joined, even across galaxies. Some physicists now believe this entanglement may underlie gravity itself, that the geometry of space-time is built from quantum relationships, from information woven together by correlation. In that sense, love is not only a metaphor for gravity. Gravity may literally be the large-scale echo of love, the attraction of information for information, of existence for itself. And the human heart knows this truth instinctively. When you lose someone, you still feel them. When someone thinks of you from far away, sometimes you know. Skeptics call it coincidence. Mystics call it connection. Maybe both are correct, because even if the signal is too faint to measure, the pattern remains. The universe never forgets what it has once joined. On a purely biological level, the body reinforces this cosmic intimacy. When two people bond deeply, their heartbeats and breathing rates can synchronize even when separated. This has been measured, lovers in different rooms still moving in similar rhythms, as if gravity were playing through them. We are not as isolated as we think. Each cell in your body is entangled with the world, through photons, through magnetic fields, through shared air and light. You are not inside the universe, you are the universe, folded small enough to perceive itself. In the centre of our galaxy lies a supermassive black hole called Sagittarius A star, 4 million times the mass of the Sun. Its gravity holds billions of stars in orbit, yet its own nature is invisible. It devours light. And still, around that void, everything dances in harmony. Sometimes what looks like emptiness is the strongest attraction of all. Love behaves that way too. It pulls us not because of what is there, but because of what we sense. The potential, the possibility, the mystery. Gravitational wells and human hearts both curve space around absence. They teach us that power lies in surrender. When two bodies fall toward one another under gravity, they don't collide. They orbit, each influencing, each changed. The same happens when two lives intertwine. Love is not the erasure of individuality, but the mutual bending of reality to make room for another. On a more subtle level, your body itself obeys gravitational poetry. Your cells communicate with light, biophotons, faint flashes emitted by DNA as it replicates and repairs. These biophotons synchronize like fireflies, maintaining order throughout the body. Some biologists, like Fritz Albert Popp, suggested that this coherence, this inner harmony of light, might be what keeps living systems stable. Attraction again keeps chaos at bay. From galaxies to neurons, from atoms to lovers, the story repeats. Things fall together. Even entropy, the tendency of the universe toward disorder, relies on attraction to move forward. Without gravity pulling matter into stars, there would be no fusion, no light, no chemistry, no life. Disorder creates creation. Separation creates longing. Longing creates motion. Motion creates form. And form eventually becomes aware and gives the name love to what the universe has been doing all along. If you could step outside of time and look at all existence at once, you'd see webs of connections stretching from the subatomic to the cosmic, filaments of galaxies forming patterns eerily similar to neural networks in the brain. The universe, on its grandest scale, looks like a thought or perhaps a feeling. Astrophysicists have measured this structure and computer simulations confirm it. Galaxies gather along threads of dark matter, forming a vast cosmic web. Each intersection shines with light, like neurons firing across space. It's as if the universe itself were thinking, and love were its synapse. Dark matter, mysterious, invisible, makes up most of the universe's mass, yet we cannot see or touch it. It exerts only gravity, holding galaxies together. Without it, everything would drift apart. Even the unseen sustains us. Isn't that true of human love as well? So much of what holds us together is invisible. Memory, promise, presence, faith. The unseen has weight. In 1977, astronaut Carl Sagan reminded humanity that we are made of star stuff. But what he didn't say outright, what was implied between his words, is that we are also made of relationship. The hydrogen in your veins once danced with oxygen in a cloud of gas. The carbon in your bones once felt the crush of gravity inside a dying star. The calcium in your teeth was forged in a supernova's fire. You are the ashes of love affairs between stars. So when you fall in love, you are not defying physics. You are fulfilling it. You are reenacting the oldest law in the cosmos, that energy seeks energy, that patterns seek resonance, that what was once whole seeks to be whole again. Love is not a chemical trick. The chemicals are the footprints it leaves. Love is gravity's reflection in consciousness, the same curve but made of emotion instead of mass. It bends the mind toward union, it warps time in its presence, it makes the ordinary luminous. Ask anyone who has ever been in love how time behaves. It stretches, it contracts, it becomes relative. Einstein would smile. Relativity isn't limited to stars, it lives in the heart. The stronger the attraction, the slower the world outside seems to move. In the gravity well of love, moments become eternal. And when love ends, as stars burn out, as galaxies drift, gravity doesn't disappear, it transforms. A dead star becomes a white dwarf, then maybe a black hole still holding what it once touched. So too do our hearts. The people we've loved remain gravitationally bound in memory. Their pull never fades completely. It just becomes quieter, a curve in the inner space-time of who we are. The physicist Brian Greene once said that, in a sense, everything that has ever interacted remains part of one entangled system. That the universe, in its totality, is one continuous conversation. So perhaps the people you have loved are still part of you because physically they are. Particles exchanged, photons shared, fields entangled. You never completely separate from anything you've touched. Love leaves an imprint on the structure of reality. So as you lie there now, eyes closed, feeling the gentle weight of gravity pulling you toward the bed, know that you are part of the same attraction that turns the planets, folds the galaxies, and ignites the stars. Every breath you take is the echo of that original longing. Matter, reaching for matter. Consciousness, reaching for connection. You are not lonely in this vastness. You are the vastness, learning what it means to hold itself together. Love and gravity are not two stories. They are the same story, told once by atoms and once by hearts. Thank you for listening, and good night.